Let's get into this last one. It's going to be the Bikeriders 2024 film. And over the course of a decade, a Midwestern motorcycle club evolves from a gathering place for local outsiders to a sinister gang threatening the original group's way of life. It's directed by Jeff Nichols. It's going to be starring Austin Butler, Jodie Comer, Tom Hardy, Michael Shannon, Boyd Holbrook, Happy Anderson. And we also got, what's my man's name? Daryl Dixon pops up in this thing. I forgot his name that quick. Norman Reedus. Yeah. And some more people, man. But for the most part, this is one that I saw, mystery movie. So I got to see it like a week before it, a few days, maybe like 4 or 5 days before it premiered. So, which is kind of cool. I saw the poster for this and I just didn't really know what to think. I think I saw the trailer a couple of times too, and I was like, I don't know. But for the most part, I kind of enjoyed this thing, man. I think it does a decent enough job of telling its story. I thought most of the performances were really good. That was one of the bright spots, especially Jodie Comer's character as Kathy in this. She's kind of our Henry Hill style narrator of this film. She's giving us voiceover and explaining things as it goes along. It just kind of it's just cool, man. It's just one of these people they just feel like that character. You know what I'm saying? That like I couldn't picture her doing anything else except being Kathy as I'm watching this thing play out. And her point of view is kind of cool because she's kind of a square, living a square life. She doesn't, this is all new to her, man. These guys' lifestyle, the element that they bring to the table. So she's kind of a fish out of water, but in a way she kind of quickly adapts, to what's going on here for the most part. And it's kind of has this sweeping because it's covering like a decade, although it doesn't feel like that long, dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you got that feeling. It didn't seem that long of a period, to me, but
how time, I don't know. It just seemed like a long week or whatever. When you kind of look at it,
maybe a few months or a year. It felt like a year.
Yeah, and this was a 10-year period, I guess, a little under 10-year period. From the mid '60s to the mid '70s. It's like nothing really changed in that time. And I think with the exception of Tom Hardy, he was the only person that looked like they aged during a little
bit. He got a little bit whiter.
Yeah, what are you gonna say?
He got a little bit whiter on the edges, like his hair, but yeah, they all kind of look the same. Like it's hard to tell. Nobody
really looked like they aged at all. And it's. Like I was telling you before we started, it kind of reminded me of like a Terrence Malick type film, like Tree of Life or let me think of one of the ones, like Badlands or something, where you really don't know what it's about, but it just started off at a certain point and ended at a certain point, and you really don't. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. Visually, it's a cool film, but overall, I just don't.
It's just kind of dreamy, like at times where it's floaty. Whereas I feel like with something like Goodfellas, you had specific points to reference, like there's a certain heist, that there's just certain daily goals. Henry goes to jail, and there's I feel like this is lacking the background on a lot of these characters that I think would have probably helped take it over the top and explain, because it's weird because they're just a motorcycle group. They're hanging out riding bikes, and all of a sudden they're heavy deep in the crime, and there's no like in between steps to getting to that.
But events happen in this, but they don't really hit you that hard, in a way, because. The first kind of friction is maybe it looks like a Sunday meetup in the neighborhood, and they're beefing with these guys, and next thing you know, they're sharing beers with them, So it didn't even seem that doesn't even seem that serious. So then, how do we get from that to maybe the next time something goes down, they're killing people, they're burning down a bar? It's just it's like whoa. Like they're playing for keeps now. It does get a little weird in that regard, but I was able to overlook it. Like the pacing of it is a bit slow though. Like what is this thing checking at? It's like 2 hours, I think, or let me see. 1 hour 56 minutes. Yeah. Okay. So even with that, it just seems like there's no urgency to get this story out of here. There's a lot of times where we're lingering or we're having just inconsequential banter, and it's generally good because the performances are good, but there's a lot of stuff here that's like, okay, like, we don't really need to hear that.
Like I said, it reminds me of something like Terrence Malick would have made, and it's pretty much told almost like you're watching Dazed and Confused in a way, but it's no real big events that really happen other than a couple of beats.
Even the violence doesn't seem fit at all times, because like later on, after it's done happen a few times, but that first time something really violent happens, I never got the idea that it could get that serious with these guys. It comes out of nowhere in a way. And then then you're primed for it. But I don't know, man. But besides the knocks, man, like I said, I really did love these performances, man. Jodie Comer's character, she goes in deep, like with the accent. Tom Hardy's accent, man, I love it, dude. It's nuts, it's crazy, and like this guy, I really love watching him act, man. There's a film he's in, called I think was that The Drop. I think it was The Drop with him and Gandolfini, and he's good in there. He's kind of playing He's kind of playing a character in there that's just kind of like a little bit slower than everybody, but he's still kind of smart. But it just comes out, he just comes off like a little. And I love the fact that he could put nuance.
Because he's impaired in that film.
Yeah. But you realize he's still pretty smart. But it's like he has this habit of being able to put these little ticks in his characters and the roles that he portrays that really makes them interesting, man. I love watching him act, and I think this one is also like what helped set it up, because it's nutty in a way it shouldn't have worked, but he's able to pull it off, man. Like I love that one scene where the chubby dude with the beard challenges him. And he's like, yeah, so he want fists or knives. Like it's just weird. Yeah. It's just he's just like unbothered, yo. I'm like, dude, like knives? like what are we doing? Shit. Like you could die over this, man. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like it's a film that's like right now, I think I got it at a 3.5. I almost gave it a 4 if it wasn't for some of the directorial choices, but overall I did kind of like this thing, man, and I will probably sit through it again, knowing what to expect now. It'll probably play a little bit different, but I'm not mad that I saw it, man. I think it was a cool slice of this reality. It could have been more, but for what it was, I think it was worth my time, in the theater.
I agree with you. I didn't hate it. It's just one of those I'm gonna have to rewatch. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's one of those I'm gonna have to rewatching. But I'm real interested in reading the book that this is based on, just to see what these guys' lives were like and everything. And that kind of paints a portrait of them at this time, but it really doesn't. Other than surface, you really don't know anything about them. Mm-hmm. Is that how you feeling about this?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think it just scratches the surface, and that's where my biggest problem is. It's like, damn, dude, this could have been so great. Like especially with the time that we put in. But I know it's already getting the Goodfellas comparison, But I think just because of the narration and the nature of it, it's kind of a similar story, man. I mean, we see the rise, the beginning, the middle, and the end, of these group of guys. I just think it's not as detailed as that film was. Yeah, maybe putting really, more detail in would have boosted.
Yeah, and other than Jodie Comer, I think she's the only main character, but you really don't know, other than her hanging with the gang, you really don't know anything about her, really, other than
nothing.
Yeah, I don't know anything about her.
How do you know her job before? It's weird, man. It's just wild as hell, man. Like a lot of stuff is just left off that I think would have provided, been really interesting to, include in the film, But I would say check it out, man. If you get a chance, just be prepared. It is a little bit slower pace, but I think it's solid.
Yeah.